watch the movie and to talk about the climate crisis, and even more importantly, to get involved in helping to solve this crisis and solve it. As I said before, we have everything we need to get started, with the possible exception of political will, but that is a renewable resource in America. And you are helping to renew it. I do want to say a word of thanks also to all of the other organizations that have pitched in on this, besides MoveOn.org. Joining me on AlGore.com is JohnCarey.com, Working Assets, the Sierra Club, LCV, StopGlobalWarming.com, Rainforest Action Network, Care to Center for a New Humanity, and a great many smaller organizations that have also volunteered to help, and my thanks to each and every one. MoveOn surveyed its members many months ago and found that global warming and energy represent one of the top 3 issues of concern to the members of MoveOn. And the other organizations I've mentioned have been hearing similar things from their members. And we have done 2 calls together now around the movie. And this one, though, is very special. This is completely different, and it's just amazing that we have between 1,900 and 2,000 house parties all at the same time. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for people to, first of all, become more informed about the climate crisis and learn as much as you can about it, because it's the meaning it has for you in your life, will be illuminated by the knowledge you gain in learning about it. And one of the best ways that you can spread the word is to buy the DVD, or donate your own DVD to your school's library, or give it as a gift to someone who you know is not yet informed about the issue. We simply need to get the word out as broadly as possible, as quickly as possible. So these house parties really are just the beginning. I would like to ask all of you to help me in organizing a mass movement around this issue. That's what AlGore.com is all about. And one of the important steps you can take is to fill out a postcard after this call. I'm sure you all know the postcards are downloadable. And fill them out and send them. I will make sure that they're delivered. I will personally deliver as many as are sent to the Congress, and I'll give them to the congressional leaders, and I will make sure that your voice is heard. So tonight is about learning, it's about communicating, and it's about taking action. The truth is that America's political system is seemingly paralyzed by this issue. But when that's the case, then that's when the grassroots really have to get mobilized. And that's what this is all about. So I look forward to responding to some of your questions. Again, thank you so much for doing this. And thank you in advance for filling out and sending in the postcards, for connecting with AlGore.com, and for joining in this mass movement to push our country across a tipping point beyond which the leaders in both political parties will encounter so many of their constituents and so many citizens who say, solve the climate crisis, that they will be moved to genuine action. That's what this is all about. So thank you very, very much. And for those who have not yet seen the movie, I hope you get a lot out of it. I know that some of you, depending on the time zone, have completed seeing it before the call. So to all of you again, thanks, and I look forward to your questions.
Great, so we're going to
read about it, and I remember when I was your age, and I spent my summers in the South, and spent my winters in Washington, D.C., and I saw it happen in both places. There were images on television of tremendous injustice suffered by African Americans during the age when it was legal to segregate and to discriminate on the basis of skin color. And there was a movement to pass laws prohibiting that and to have a civil rights revolution. And when the change really came was when young people, the age you are now, started asking their parents and other elders to explain to them why it wasn't morally wrong to young college freshmen and sophomores who went downtown and sat in and segregated lunch counters and marched to make their point. And the civil rights revolution in many ways was led by young people. And this issue is like that one in the sense that it embodies a moral point that can be made by force of truth. And young people, you know the old saying in my religious tradition anyway, and you may have heard it, is a little child shall lead them. And that embodies a wisdom that sometimes when the truth is clouded by illusions that have sprung up in culture and practice and civilization, that young people sometimes have a fresh and clear view of the ultimate truth involved. The old story about the emperor with no clothes embodies the same wisdom. It was a young person who said, hey, wait a minute, everybody's going along with an illusion here, the climate crisis, and I urge you and your friends to get involved.
Great. Lois from Wilmington, Ohio, asks if there's one thing that we can do that has the biggest impact on this issue. What is it?
Consider becoming carbon neutrally. Succeeding in this campaign will mean that whoever does run for political office will encounter so many voters who demand action that they'll have to act.
So I have one last question from Spencer in Seattle, Washington. And his question is, how do we get past the choir? How do we start preaching to those who need to hear the message?
Well, the good news is, Spencer, is that a lot of people who were reluctant to go and see the movie in theaters are willing to see it in the privacy of their own home. And if you give an extra copy of the DVD to someone who you know has questions about the issue or is opposed to solving it, you will be surprised how many people like that will watch it in the privacy of their own home and recognize after they get into it a little bit that this is not really a political issue, it's a moral issue. And you know, a lot of people are changing. Even Pat Robertson, the ultra-conservative evangelical minister on the 700 Club, announced publicly that he had changed his position. 85 other conservative evangelicals who supported Bush and Cheney publicly broke with him on this issue. A lot of Republicans, Democrats who have long since been advocates to say, look, this is not a political issue. So people beyond the metaphorical.
And I wanted to pass that on to you.
Well, I appreciate that very much, Eli, and I want to thank all of those who expressed that sentiment, and I want to again thank all of the hosts of the house parties and all of those who are attending. And again, thanks to you, Eli, and Move On and the other organizations joining with AlGore.com this evening. It's been great working with you on this, and to each and every one, God bless and thank you so much. Let's really keep the momentum going.
Thank you, and I just want to remind everyone, tell your friends to go to AlGore.com and sign those postcards. We're aiming to get 1 million messages.
Bye-bye.
This concludes the presentation. We all now disconnect.